As an anime about card games, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the first. It is often the first anime about a TCG anyone could think of. However, while there are mentions of the series potentially being rebooted, I found myself bothered by the way the series has gone thus far. Yu-Gi-Oh!, as opposed to other card game anime, has an unusual quirk about it. Namely, that its story predated its game, and I believe this has caused it to fall out of line with other existing card game anime, and not in a good way. Cardfight Vanguard, Duel Masters, and Battle Spirits are all the same kind of anime as Yu-Gi-Oh! It's an anime to advertise their card games. However, as a result of Yu-Gi-Oh's story predating its game, there's a quirk about Yu-Gi-Oh! That isn't shared by these three other anime. And that is that these three anime are accurate portrayals of the game that they are advertising. Duel Masters as a story actually also predated its game. The original manga for it actually had the players play Magic the Gathering before Duel Masters got its own game, since Wizards of the Coast was involved with the creation of Duel Masters. That's why the rules of Duel Masters are very similar to MTG. Cardfight Vanguard was an anime released very closely alongside its card game, and so the cards appearing for the first time in the anime would basically be shown off before the set that ended up releasing it. Battle Spirits has had several anime seasons up until Battle Spirits Double Drive. Its 8th series ended in lieu of advertising the game via Battle Spirits Extreme Game. With the introduction of the Japanese-only game's standard format, we'll be getting another new anime. In every one of these anime, the game is portrayed accurately. The rules and effects are all as they appear in the physical game, with two exceptions. The first being Oracle Guardian Hermes in Vanguard, which, to save time, was likely cut last second due to how strong it was, and an incident like this never occurred again with Vanguard. And many clear writing errors when it comes to Battle Spirits' first ever anime, Battle Spirits Shonotoba Bachin, which was resolved in every series after this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the only anime I am currently aware of where many show original cards exist without us being able to play them, and this makes it suffer as a card game anime. So in this video, I'll be giving my take on how I would rewrite the original series. The idea here is to make a full reboot that unifies anime and manga together, in a manner that is seamless, and tries to acknowledge all of the changes that the OCG has made to the cards we expect to work. In each episode, I'll cover each phase of my rewrite, as well as detail the duels from start to finish. My goal is to create a plausible story and, where possible, try to keep the decks and duels as short and as reasonable as possible. This is my love letter to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. Let's start. Tetsu Ushio vs. Dark Yugi. For the sake of setting expectations, I will be using the subnames in this script, as it keeps things consistent. So, the events that lead up to the first Shadow game will be roughly the same as in the manga. To quickly explain the current format, I'll quickly summarize the events that the original manga has, and then discuss my changes. So, in order, Yugi Muto is introduced, Yugi's friendship with love interest Anzu Mazaki is established, Yugi's hostile relationship with Katsuya Jonauchi and Hiroto Honda are established. Yugi explains that he's repairing the Millennium Puzzle, and that he'll have a wish granted when it's completed. When Jonauchi leaves, it's revealed that he's stolen one of the puzzle pieces, preventing Yugi from completing the puzzle, and tosses it into a lake. Yugi is approached by disciplinary committee member Tetsu Ushio, who asks if Yugi is being bullied. Yugi denies it. Just a note, yes, this is the same Tetsu Ushio that appears later in 5Ds, known as Tetsu Trudge in the English dub. They're very clearly the same character. Part of this rewrite is giving Ushio a small role in this rewrite so that 5Ds is better informed. Ushio later takes matters into his own hands by calling Yugi over to show him that he's beaten the snot out of Jonauchi and Honda. He then demands 200,000 yen from Yugi as a bodyguard fee. Yugi declares that he didn't want this and doesn't want Ushio to hurt them, calling Honda and Jonauchi his friends. Ushio is unsympathetic and beats up Yugi himself as a warning for what will happen to him if he doesn't pay up. Later that night, Yugi discovers that he's almost completed the puzzle, but discovers a piece missing. His grandfather Sukuroku produces the missing piece, noting that a friend of Yugi's came by, soaking wet in spite of no rain, to deliver it to him. Yugi completes the puzzle and unleashes the hidden personality within, known in the manga as Dark Yugi. We'll stick to the manga's reference system for him. Dark Yugi calls Ushio back out to school in the dead of night, having brought twice Ushio's requested money, agreeing to hand it to Ushio if he wins a shadow game with Dark Yugi. Ushio loses, gets a penalty game, and that's the summary. Now, to cover our changes. Firstly, in the introductory segments, we're going to have Yugi not only keep the puzzle pieces in his puzzle box, but we'll also have him keep his deck there. This is because he has used the puzzle box as a deck case later, so it's easy to establish its presence there now. It'll be shown on screen when he's showing Anzu, and Anzu will ask about it, to which Yugi will explain that it's a deck of cards for his favorite game, Duel Monsters. After which, the events will play out the same until Ushio's arrival at the school, and comes face to face with our main character's other self.
Who does he think he is, calling me out this late? Huh?
Yo, Ushio. Thanks for coming.
Yugi! Gotta hand it to you, sticking to the plan. Now the money. Give it over.
I've got it right here.
Though I must have made a mistake, since I seem to have brought 400,000 yen. But it wouldn't be fun to just hand over this much now, would it? So how about we play a game?
Instead of playing the money and knife shadow game, Dark Yugi will instead ask to play a game of cards. When Ushio wonders if he's talking about poker, Dark Yugi will instead show a deck of Duel Monsters cards. They relocate to the school's gym room to get a table to play on, and Ushio will note that he has no idea what this game is or how to play it. Dark Yugi agrees to explain the rules as he goes and presents Ushio with a number of decks. Ushio quickly surmises that this is a trading card.
These are trading cards! Aren't you supposed to collect cards to make a deck for this? How do I know you haven't given me complete garbage?
My grandfather owns a card shop. Each of these decks were built with his knowledge of dueling to create easy-to-use decks for new players. You're free to look at each before selecting. I will also be choosing a deck from this selection after you. Ushio is satisfied that he isn't being conned and decides that even if he is, he's hidden a knife on his person in case things look dicey. 400,000 yen is 400,000 yen. The reason we're using what I'm calling learner decks for these first few duels is because this rewrite assumes the show is going to want to advertise to people who have never seen the show before. We want to ease into more modern and complex strategies rather than going right from the get-go by teaching Ushio the game. It gives us the perfect setup for this. Ushio notes one of the cards in the learner decks, Montage Dragon, deciding he quite likes it. He decides to use said deck. This deck is one featuring many monsters with high levels. Dark Yugi selects a deck resembling the makeup of his old Duelist Kingdom deck from the original anime. With all that set dressing done, to steal a phrase from TGS Anime, how about we jump into the duel?
Duel! To explain the rules, I'll make the first move. A turn covers 6 phases. Draw, standby, main, battle, main 2, and end. The player who goes first cannot draw on their draw phase, nor do they get a battle phase. And as I have no cards I can use in the standby phase, I can only perform my main phase. I summon Horned Imp! Once during a turn and only during the main phase, the turn player can normal summon a monster from their hand. With that, I end my turn. Alright, it's my turn, right? And for what you said before, I draw! Yeah, this zone seems pretty big. I'll summon this! Tri-Horned Dragon!
Sorry, that won't work.
Huh? Why not?
Tri-Horned Dragon is a level of 8, indicated by the stars on the card. Monsters with a level of 7 or higher require you to send 2 monsters on your field to the graveyard first, before they can be summoned.
Then what the hell can I summon?
Monsters of level 5 or 6 need 1 tribute, but monsters of level 4 or below can be summoned without any.
Level 4. Here, I summon Koumori Dragon. And I think you said something about me getting to attack first. Koumori Dragon, attack that imp thing!
Well done, you destroyed my monster. Since they were both in attack position, the difference in their attack values comes out of my life points.
So you've got 7,800 life points left, and I win when they go to 0, right?
Yes, you have a decent grasp of the general rules.
Alright then, I end my turn.
It's my turn.
I draw. I summon Feral Imp. Only 1,300 attack points. It'll lose to my Koumori Dragon.
Not quite. There are ways to make a monster stronger.
I activate the equip spell, Malevolent Nuzzler. Spell card. This one is green.
During a main phase, the player can activate as many spell cards from their hand as they like, provided their effects can be used. This one is an equip spell, so it stays on the field, and while it does, it can give one of my monsters 700 attack points.
Feral Imp now has 2,000 attack points. Battle! Feral Imp, destroy his Koumori Dragon!
With that, my turn is over.
So you can use other cards to power up, huh? I draw! This one's quite tough. I summon Alexandrite Dragon!
2,000 attack points. If our monsters battle, they'll destroy each other.
I see. Is that how it works? Well, I don't care much for that outcome. You said a player can use spells, right? Well, since I have a dragon, I activate Stamping Destruction. Since I've got a dragon, I can destroy a spell or a trap. I'll destroy Malevolent Nuzzler, and as an added bonus, I get to deal you 500 points of damage. Now that your monster's back to being a weakling, go, Alexandrite Dragon! This game's pretty easy. I end my turn.
It's my move. I draw. I'll set a monster in defense position.
Huh? That's a weird way to place the card. Monsters don't just have attack points, they have defense points too. When I would normal summon a monster, I can summon it either face up as an attacking monster or face down as a defender. If you're feeling brave, feel free to attack it. I end my turn. My move! I draw! I'm not scared of a cowardly trick like that. If you had something that could beat my dragon, you'd have played it. I summon Blackland Fire Dragon! Battle! Alexandrite Dragon, attack his set monster! The monster you attacked is the Mystical Elf, with a defense of 2,000. Since your monster's attack doesn't exceed my monster's defense, neither monster is destroyed and you take damage equal to the difference. Since the difference is 0, however, you don't take any damage. If I'd attacked with Blackland Fire Dragon, I'd have taken 500 damage. Whatever, it's only got 800 attack points. I end my turn. My move. I draw! My monsters may only have 800 attack points, but remember what I said about high-level monsters. Huh? I tribute my mystical elf so that I may tribute summon this! The level 5 monster, Rude Kaiser! Only 1800 attack points, not stronger than Alexandrite. But that won't save your weaker monster. Rude Kaiser, destroy Blackland Fire Dragon! Gah! I'll move to my main tool and set a card face down. I end my turn. I draw! I don't have a monster I can summon. Still, yours is weaker than mine. Go, Alexandrite Dragon! At this moment, I activate my trap card! Magical Hats! Trap card? Yes, the third type of card that may be included in a deck. Trap cards must be laid face down on the field for a turn before they can be used. But oftentimes they can be used in the middle of an opponent's turn. I'll set 2 non-monsters from my deck face down in defense position as hats, and hide my Rude Kaiser among them. If you want to take out my Rude Kaiser, you'll have to find him first. Alexandrite Dragon, attack the middle hat! Mystical Moon. Unfortunately, that was just a hat. I'm out of moves. I end my turn. As your battle phase has ended, my other hat goes to the graveyard. My move. I draw. From my hand, I activate the spell card, Brain Control. By paying 800 life points, I can take control of a monster you control that isn't a special summon monster. Special summon monster? Some cards can be summoned the normal way and have special conditions in order to be played. Thankfully, that doesn't apply to your Alexandrite Dragon. Battle! Rude Kaiser, Alexandrite Dragon, attack Ushio directly! Damn it! Since you had no monsters to protect you, my monster's attack points come directly out of your life points. But I'm not done. I have yet to summon a monster this turn. I tribute both your Alexandrite Dragon and my Rude Kaiser. Come forth! Gaia, the Fierce Knight! I end my turn. Crap. Now he is a level 7 monster. I draw. Useless. All I could do is defend. I set a monster and end my turn. It's my turn. I'll draw. It'll take more than that to keep your life points safe. Go spell card! Nobleman of Crossout! What the? This destroys your face-down monster and banishes it. Now you're wide open. Fierce Knight Gaia! Direct attack! Spiral Spear Strike! Damn it. Now I've only got 1100 life points left. That's the end of my turn. It's my move. I draw. Montage Dragon. Let's see, this card is orange. A special summon monster with an unknown attack value. Can only be summoned if you send 3 other monsters from your hand to the graveyard. Crap. I only have 2 other monsters. Hold on. This deck has tons of high-level monsters. But he only explained the downside of that to me after I picked my deck. Why that little... Hey! What the hell is this? This deck has way too many high-level monsters in it. Indeed. Compared to the other learner decks, that high-level dragon deck is more intermediate. Dragon monsters tend to have a characteristic of being both strong and difficult to use. If I'd known about the tributing rules before this game started, I'd never have chosen this 40-card pile of garbage. There's no way you didn't get an advantage out of this. I see. I understand how you might feel I gained an advantage. Yeah, my turn's over. Go! My move. It was never my intention to play anything other than fairly. I end my turn. You passed without doing anything? One turn should be enough to make up for the unfair situation. My turn. I draw. I'm gonna make you regret giving me that extra turn. 1, 2, 3. By sending these 3 monsters to the graveyard, I can summon this to the field. Go, Montage Dragon! If I'm reading this correctly, Montage Dragon's attack points are the total level of the monsters I dropped times 300. Thanks to this high-level dragon deck, I was able to throw out a total of 20 levels. That means my Montage Dragon has a total of 6,000 attack points. Go, Montage Dragon! Rip apart that knight! That's a delicious amount of damage I just dealt right now. Out of interest, is there a monster that can take this thing on? The highest printed attack value on any monster is 5,000. Nice! That means there must be nothing in that pathetic learner deck that can take on Montage Dragon. I end my turn. I draw. I play a monster in defense position and set a card face down. I end my turn. My move. I draw. Guess I'll wait until I draw some more dragons I can summon. Till then I can make mincemeat of any monster you play. Go, Montage Dragon! Not quite. I activate the trap card, Wabaku! This trap protects me from damage and my monsters from battle. Thanks to that trap, the monster you attacked, my Kuribo, is safe. Defense of 200, huh? No wonder you used that trap. Oh well, there's no way you're making up a 5,700 attack difference. I end my turn. It's my move. I draw. I'll offer up my Kuribo as a tribute to bring forth this monster. Go! Summon Skull! It's definitely strong. 2,500 attack is even stronger than that knight from before, but it isn't beating Montage Dragon. I wouldn't be so sure about that. This game isn't all about power. Huh? What do you mean by that? I mean there's more than one way to defeat a monster. I activate the spell, Makyu, the Magical Mist! This card may only be used by targeting one of 2 kinds of monsters on my field. Either a Thunder monster, or the Summon Skull. Now, all monsters on your field with a defense value that fails to exceed my Summon Skull's attack are destroyed. Defense value? My Montage Dragon's defense is 0, Summon Skull, Lightning Strike! My Montage Dragon, 6,000 attack points, wiped out, just like that. Unfortunately, Makyu the Magical Mist comes with a drawback. I can't enter my battle phase in the same turn. That means it's your move. My move. I draw. Another high-level monster. The hell do I do? I don't have any way to stop Summon Skull's attack next turn. I've lost. Wait, when did I start focusing so much on this game? It might be the bet, but I'm not giving him 400,000 yen over a stupid card game. To hell with this game. Forfeit the match and hand over the money if you know what's good for you. By drawing that knife, you discarded the sword of your heart that protects you. But more than that, you've broken the rules. That means you suffer a penalty game. Penalty game? Don't you know the position you're in? Who cares if I break the rules? I've got your life in my hands. Your soul is rotten with greed. Penalty game. Mind Crush!